Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I've got breaking news, huge leak, a gigantic WOTC F up once again, yet again. So WOTC, Magic the Gathering, in their wisdom and insight and everything else, they sent two stores Final Fantasy sealed products. So the Final Fantasy starter decks have been opened and fully revealed. And but not in North America. So apparently WOTC screwed up and sent a bunch of they sent the pre-release Final Fantasy products, including some pre-release kits, were inadvertently sent to Brazilian stores, which is kind of funny because they pulled the language support for Portuguese. But the cards are in Spanish. So there's a bunch of leaks of cards uh, brought to you by way of Chile, but sent to stores in Brazil. Let's just go ahead and get right into it, right into the leaks. This website here was really good. So here it is, Rosa Steadfast Mage from Final Fantasy IV. Moving on, Beatrice, Loyal General. This one's great. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy IX. I remember hating those fights against her. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Lightning, mono red, makes sense. I get it. Got this guy, Rays of Judgment. I don't know. It's Final Fantasy 16. Sorry, the Roman numerals are kind of throwing me. Ultimate Weapon, they had to do it. Final Fantasy 7, everybody's favorite. All the fanboys love it. So I'm not going to read every single card, but I'll read some of them. Legendary Artifact Equipment, again. It's plus 7/7. Okay, great. Final Fantasy 7. Good creature attacks. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. So, this is going to get cheated into playing Equipment Commander decks. That's a lot of fun. Albert Steiner, Final Fantasy 9. He is disappointingly weak. And what is wrong with his face? Who drew this? This looks like AI art. So, Legendary Creature, Human Soldier. It's plus 1/1 for each equipment you can. I don't know why he cares about equipment. That seems kind of lazy. So we got a Moogle. I cannot wait to make a Moogle deck. That is so much fun. Here we go. We got a Corel. These are mainstay monsters in the Final Fantasy lexicon. They're in Final Fantasy 11. They were in Final Fantasy 9. You'll know when you see them. Dwarven Castle Guard. This is a lot of fun. Looks like, what is this? Final Fantasy 4. That's cute. That's cool. Look at that. Dwarf Soldier. When it dies, you create a hero token. So hero tokens. That's gonna coincide well with what we're going to see with Spider-Man, heroes being an actual creature type. Sun Crystal Fate, Final Fantasy 12. This looks like Final Fantasy 1 when they destroyed Garland. Blade of Light. Yep, 5F1, I was right. White Arisite. I don't know what this is. Okay. That White Mage's Rod. This is awesome. Look at the White Mage robe. Perfectly represented. I made some videos speculating about Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering, before any spoilers. I was ahead of the game. Unlike most content creators. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe, and feel free to tune in and check my other content. But I was guessing that they're going to do things like I thought they were going to bring back the class cards we saw in D&D Universes Beyond. This one, I think, it's close to the mark. So they're going to make the mainstay Final Fantasy job classes, make them their own equipment sort of thing. So the White Mage's Rod, although it should be the White Mage robe, it's the most iconic thing, but you get the idea. So it gives creature plus 1/1. I don't know Spanish. Gains a life, I guess. And the cleric, in addition to their creature types, that's my guess just by, the Latin root words. Looking at Spanish and just guessing really hard. So chosen of the Crystal. This looks like one of the non-main games. Oh, Final Fantasy 3. Okay, pretty cool. Moving on. Lance of the Dragoon. So again, this kind of harkens back to the White Mage thing I just mentioned. White Mage's Rod. They're probably going to do each job class's weapon. So the Lance of the Dragoon gets plus 1/1. I can't read that. So with the Dragoon class, they do have an ability called Jump, where they jump in the air. They leave combat for a couple turns and they come back down really, really hard. So I'm guessing that's what this is going to do. Gay Bolg. That's awesome. So the Gay Bolg is an actual spear. It's a weapon in Final Fantasy 11. I guess it's in 14 as well. The Gay Bolg is actually a real thing. It's a spear wielded by a Celtic Irish mythology figure named Cuchulainn. The Gay Bolg is named after an actual real thing. That's pretty cool. So we got another Final Fantasy 14 creature. You got yourself a little cat. You're into the cat boy feline thing. Item merchant. So that's pretty cool. It's in Final Fantasy games. You go to town, sell your items, buy some items. So Warrior's Blade. So yeah, Colin, harkening back to my guess earlier about they're going to have an equipment for each of the job classes. So the Warrior wears the red armor. This is pretty spot on with the armor over here. Warrior's Blade, it gets stronger and does things related to combat. You choose a job. Quick creature gets plus 3/2 and is a warrior, so this kind of gets around the class types. Those suplex, this one's really cool. So I didn't play this Final Fantasy, but apparently one of the Final Fantasy games, you suplex a train. So that's pretty cool. Deals 3 damage, target creature. The creature would die, exiled instead. Freya Crescent, this is so cool. I love Final Fantasy 9. Rat Knight, which is awesome. Jump, so during your turn, this creature has flying. Tap, red, use only this mana to cast equipment or activate abilities of equipment. So, again, it's a little lazy these things care about equipment. You do equip them with weapons throughout the game and we upgrade the weapon, but it shouldn't be their sole thing. So, but hey, I'll take it. So, a 1/1 red rat. I can't think of any red rats in the game. I think there were some in Eldraine. Anyway, we got ourselves a Samurai Katana. Samurai, again, one of the job classes. Barrett Wallace, here he is. This is what people in Japan think that black people. Definitely modeled on Mr. T, Human Rebel. Whenever he attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control. Again, they're really leaning on the equipment. City of the Kingdom. Is this Final Fantasy 12? I did not play that one. Show me your tap lands, ETB tapped. Got Ultimecia, Menace of Time, Final Fantasy 8. Didn't play that. Seymour Flux. Did not play this one, Final Fantasy 10. I hated the grid system. Deadly Embrace. Looks like we got ourselves destroy a target creature an opponent controls. Draw a card for each creature that died this turn. So definitely a commander card, starter deck worthy. Dondi, Dark Mage. I guess this is Final Fantasy 3. I did not play this one. Human Sorcerer gets +1/1 for each non-creature non-land card in your graveyard. Carries by the graveyard. We got a Magic Tech Scythe. It must be something from Final Fantasy 14, as it's indicated here. Sahagin. This is one of the Beastmen mainstays of the Final Fantasy bestiary. I was pretty certain they were going to do these. This one from Final Fantasy 14 as well. Here we go. You got the Fairy 2 Egg. I don't remember many fairies in Final Actually, no, there are fairies in Final Fantasy 11. In the Wings of the Goddess, there's the fairies. So you got this this guy. Go for Esper. This is Final Fantasy 5. Yeah, 5. The Roman numerals, not so great. Laguna Dreams. The hell is this? Laguna Beach. Okay, did not play 8. Got Realm Drawings. Did not play this one either. Create a token as a copy of target artifact, creature, or land. That's pretty powerful. Pretty cool. We got some rats. Aqueduct rats. Rat tail, when it dies, create a treasure token. So Final Fantasy 12. There you go. Shinra reinforcements. We all know what this is. Final Fantasy 7. I remember fighting these guys. And enters mill 3 cards, gain 3 life. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Sephiroth's intervention. This is probably when he comes down and kills Aerith. Destroy target creature, you gain 2 life. 2 life, excuse me. Walking Seath. This looks like one of the golems from Final Fantasy 11. You counter in Dynamis, but I'm not totally sure. Not too sure. That Abed Rescuers, Final Fantasy 10. Extermination. This is hilarious. Read this. Target creature gets -999 until end of turn. You're gonna kill anything. It gets around indestructible. It's gonna destroy Cactar. So Cactar is really over the top. This will definitely take care of it. You got this guy, the Return of Evil, Final Fantasy 5. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. 2/1/1 counters on it. So here's an overview of all the cards pictured here. The spoiler is everything here is in one big pile. Down below is a zoomed in version. Here you can see there's some of the lands. Seventh Heaven, the Final Fantasy 7. The Mountain, this is Final Fantasy 1. Can't quite make out which is which here. Here's your tip card. Here's your hero tokens. So pretty good overall. A good amount of content here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be staying pretty close to this Final Fantasy Magic together. I'm really excited about this. It is being price gouged and scalped to shit. I made a video about that. Feel free to check that as well. We'll put a link in the description of this video. And feel free to check out my Final Fantasy content. Thanks, everyone. Catch you later.